So today I'm looking at the Z Skinny classical guitar support, and I'm looking at 4 different models. The basic model, the swivel model, the swivel wide, and the swivel compact. What I'll do in this video is I'll first just give you a really quick overview of what the guitar support is all about, just so you can get to know it. And then I'll do a close-up of the different models. And then I'll do a full demo where I really talk about the benefits of it and any considerations as well. So it's attached to my instrument right now. And when I'm ready to use it, I just unfold it like this. And I'm good to go. I start playing. When I'm done playing, it just folds back onto your instrument. So that's the basic idea. Let's talk about how the innovations of this product. So one major factor here is that it fits the contour of your instrument. And it's very beautifully designed in that way to just be super minimal impact on your instrument. And then when you're ready to use it, you can just open it up. So that's one major factor. Another one is adjustability. There's quite a bit of adjustability for different heights. If you want a high guitar and a steep angle, you can go to that one. But if you adjust it, you can go to a lower, a less steep of an angle as well. There's even a small adjustment to adjust the angle of the leg plate as well. Just making sure that you can adjust it to your liking. Now, this guitar support attaches with an adhesive, so that's something we're going to have to talk about quite a bit. I know that classical guitarists, when they hear the word adhesive, they're going to be a little concerned, but I will talk about that, and we'll talk about the benefits of it, and any other considerations as well. Now today I've actually attached one of them to my instrument with the adhesive right onto the guitar itself. I wanted to do that so I can demo, taking the adhesive off and just to really truly try out the product. But because I have so many of them here, on my other instruments, I'm using a static cling wrap and attaching the adhesive to the static cling wrap just for the demo. So here's the real test. We've got the guitar support on there. Success! Let's try it out with a different case and different guitar so that support is attached. And success again. So here are the 4 models I'll be testing out. This is the basic model. So on this model, this attaches to your guitar with the adhesive. You can adjust the height and angle with this. And this goes on your leg. There is one small adjustment that you can turn here, is that with this screw coming out here, you can make a micro adjustment to the angle of the leg pad. So when this is screwed in a lot, you'll have this kind of steeper angle, but when you loosen this, you can get a little bit more angle in that way. Then we have the swivel model. And on the swivel model, it's the same basic design, except this part pivots here for much more adjustability in the angle that you're going to have your guitar. It's not like a super loose pivot, so it won't destabilize your playing, but you can put your guitar in a slightly different position based on how this is sitting on your leg, right? Then we have the swivel compact. This is just a little bit smaller than the swivel model. Not by a lot, but I think when it's actually on your instrument, it would make a big difference for either adults that are a little bit shorter or for kids. And then we have one more model. This is the swivel wide. So it just has a wider leg plate here. So just a little bit different. Here's the regular swivel. So you can see very similar, but just the leg piece is much bigger. So if you like a good amount of this on your leg for support or comfort, then they make an option. So So let's have a discussion now about the usability of the product and just the benefits and some considerations as well. I'll get to the adhesive material a little bit later, but let's demo this guitar support. So it's beautifully designed, like it's really excellent workmanship and just so stylish how it fits the contour of the instrument. I quite love that. And because it's on there, semi-permanently, you never have to think about your guitar support. It's always there, and you just, when you're ready to use it, you just go to the setting that you like and start playing. So I think in terms of design in that way, it's just a really excellent product. There's no like little screws or pipes and things like that you have to worry about. It's all just, built into the product itself. It's quite adjustable, so this is the steep angle. But if you wanted it really low, you can make it really low. So it's quite adjustable in that regard. I like my guitar angle pretty steep, so I have it set like that. This here just adjusts the angle of this a little bit so that, depending on where this hits your leg, you have a little bit of adjustability to make sure it's comfortable for you. So pretty adjustable there, and this is the basic model. Let's just take a quick look at the swivel model now. So with the swivel model, you can adjust this aspect a little bit, which is quite helpful because depending on how you hold your instrument and your body type and where the rest sits on your leg, you might want to be able to adjust that. It also allows the guitar to swivel a little bit when you're playing. So, if you wanted to look this way, you could pivot or swivel with the instrument. That's really the only difference between the two guitar supports is one has that kind of swivel motion and one doesn't. The swivel isn't so intense that you would ever really change when you're playing, maybe a little bit. I'm not sure which one I would prefer. I think I would probably just prefer the basic one, but some people do like to be able to move. I don't mind, I don't push down on my guitar a lot, so I don't mind having to just move with the instrument a little bit. If I go back to the basic model, I can no longer pivot, but I can still look, and I can pivot a little bit, it turns on your leg. So those are the two different options there, and I think some people will really want the swivel, and some people would prefer just to have one that's just as secure and non-movable as possible. So that those are your options. The swivel wide has a larger leg plate, so if you like something a little bit larger here to fit on your leg, that's an option for you. You can just have a larger leg pad there. And the compact model is just a little tiny bit smaller, so it's just a little bit better suited to people who are short or for children as well. So what do I like about the guitar support? I've already talked about the design. I really love the design. I think that's the coolest part of the guitar support. I like how secure it feels. I think it feels, really secure. Feels solid, not flimsy at all. I think it's a good product in that way. If you like the way this guitar support feels, I think in terms of its security, I think it's really high. It doesn't feel flimsy, doesn't flex or anything like that. One thing I have noticed is that it does angle your guitar back a little bit. Not very much, but a little bit. So I do have it tucked up, a fair amount on my leg to get a fairly upright guitar, but it does angle it slightly. I actually think this is fine for me. I don't think I would want it any more, but that is one small consideration, is that it does angle it just a little tiny bit. I think the majority of players out there have their guitar just angled ever so slightly back like this. So I think it's definitely an intentional thing, and some people will prefer that. But if you like super straight up and down, that's one consideration that you'll want to take into account. Besides that, there's not much else to say, because it's such a secure device. I don't have to talk about suction cups. I don't have to talk about clamps, but I will have to talk about the adhesive. The other cool thing about the support is that you can actually use it in different ways. Like, this is the traditional classical guitar posture, but if you turn this out, you can hold it on the other leg quite comfortably and stylishly. And you can even fold it up and use it like that, right? Or use a footstool, because it's so compact and contoured to your instrument that you can use the support in a variety of different ways, or even just forget that it's kind of on there. Okay, let's talk about the aspect that will give classical guitarists the most concern, and that is the adhesive on the product, and also the fact that it rests, next to your instrument. So let's talk about that. This is a quite an expensive guitar that I own, and so it's certainly something that we want to discuss, and that I was thinking a lot about when I first heard of the product. So of course I have it on a vinyl cling, which is just like a static cling on the guitar right now, and I'm doing that just for the demo. At the moment, it's actually holding really great on the static vinyl. I really don't think it would come off, but maybe long term the vinyl would start to peel up or something, and that would be an issue. I have attached it to one of my less expensive guitars, and so here, this is the compact model. Here you can see it's actually right on the actual guitar. I don't have any product in between. It's attached to the instrument, and it is super secure. It's not going to come off at all. So that adhesive is very strong. Extremely strong, actually, to the point where I really don't think you would be able to easily break this off of your guitar, or any kind of chance that it would fall off in performance. So super secure in that regard. Now, of course, you'd be concerned about putting an adhesive on your finish. So I showed you that tool that they include, and it's so important to consider that when you do remove the product, that you put that tool in between the adhesive foam and the guitar support, not between the adhesive foam and your guitar. That would scratch your guitar. What you want to do is remove the actual guitar support, and then kind of rub off that adhesive foam with your thumb, or with some kind of approved solvent or product. They recommend a few, but you would want to check with your luthier to see which one is appropriate for the finish of your instrument. But of course that's a concern, and when I first heard about the adhesive, I was concerned about the idea, but the more I think about it, is that if you really like the guitar support and you want it to be permanently part of your instrument like this, then look how stylish this is and how good it is. So there's a real benefit to using an adhesive, because you'll just have your guitar support as part of your instrument. And that's such a big benefit that it shouldn't be ignored just because you're scared of putting an adhesive on your instrument. The other thing too is that other guitar supports can damage your instrument too. You know, repeated suction cups over years and your fingernails like undoing the suction cups, that can cause damage. Clamps can definitely cause damage to your finish. And in the end, your nails cause tons of damage to your finish as well. And what people with expensive instruments end up refinishing their instrument every once in a while, unless you're super picky about it. But that's just what it comes down to. There's a whole bunch of benefits to using it. It isn't completely permanent, and you can take it off, but it's at your own risk to your finish. And I think they're pretty confident that it won't damage your finish, but each person is going to have to decide on whether they want to take that risk. So I did end up using their tool and detaching it from my instrument here. It wasn't easy, but it did cut through the foam. Not too bad. I broke a pencil in the process, but I cut through that foam, and so that's what's left on the instrument. So I didn't actually scratch my instrument at all, so that's great. It really did cut through the foam more easily, and no damage to my instrument. But now, of course, this stuff is on here, but actually even just with my fingernail, I'm kind of able to remove it. But with French polish, it would be a little bit more of a risky operation. On this instrument, this is just like a cheap Yamaha. It's pretty easy to just push this adhesive just off. But it was on there really, really strong. It was not going to come off under any circumstances. You definitely have to kind of cut it off. So as you can see, I am kind of getting rid of it, but it's not something you'd want to do every day. So I hope you enjoyed learning about the support, and I think it's one of the best design supports I've ever tried, and quite comfortable as well. But of course, there's that consideration of the adhesive, and you'll have to consider that when you're thinking about the guitar support. Make sure to also follow their website though, because they're coming up with new models, and they're doing lots of innovations with their supports. So keep an eye on them so that you learn about what new things they create as well.